Good evening, everyone, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Myself and Mr. Beamon here of BLS. Say hello.
Hello, fellow simmers. How are we all doing?
Yeah, well, we're recording again, Mr. Beamon. Isn't this exciting?
Oh, yes.
Mr. Braddock's back again for some more Train Sim World content. So, what are we looking at, Mr. Beamon?
Well, today we're looking at the fabulous Blackpool Lines Route by JustTrains, which has recently been released for Train Sim World 4. And we've had a bit of a look at it prior to this, haven't we, Will? We haven't like a first look or anything.
Oh, yes, I think we've both put many hours into it, haven't we, so far?
Yes. So I think we can both agree that the route is absolutely fantastic, and we're going to pretty much show you it and explain why we think it's a very, very good route and highly recommend.
Absolutely. And just a disclaimer at the start of this video, if my driving is not what it usually is, it's because I'm distracted in the amazing detail of the route trying to show it off.
Well, yes, there is that.
There it is. Righto. Onwards with the video. So, here we are at Preston with this very nice looking Class 47.
So, I think one of the first things as you're in the cab right now is to sort of have a look around the cab, see the differences, because this was originally the Northern Transpennine Class 47, wasn't it? Like
Yes,
a modified version.
Yes, it was.
And we can see there's a lamp on the desk up there, a Braddock lamp. That's a new addition.
It does work.
There we are. Look at that. And also the textures have had update as well. The textures look a lot. I would like to say clearer, but not too sure. I think it's more of the colours different inside the cab.
Yeah. So this actually has a light blue desk instead of a grey black weathered one. Also, I believe the back walls are white in this rather than grey as well. I could be wrong on that, but it's just a nice variation, really.
It's a bit more brighter. It's not so dark and gloomy and weathered as you. Yeah, and this is the new model, isn't it? Well, it's not a new model. It's a modified model.
Yes. And I'm very happy to say that a good friend of mine has added these nameplates into the game as well. Shout out to a Mr. Matthew Wilson.
From Vulcan Productions, yeah. He's done a very good job of that. Yeah, the nameplates are lovely. And I believe there's 49 different nameplates for the Class 47 in this DLC. And, well, to be honest, I haven't even seen half of them yet. So, I mean, this one, again, this is a new one I haven't seen before. In my game, I have never seen Norman Tunner. It's Norman Tunner, isn't it? GC?
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah, I've never seen this one. The sounds are completely recycled from the Northern Transpennine, although I think they have had a slight update.
So, what they have done is they've changed the physics of the 47 and the physics of the sounds, the way the engine loads up. They've also added new brake squeal sounds, new flange sounds, and new basically anything to do with the bogies. They've added new cab sounds, so new brake control sounds, a few new light switch sounds, and then visually they've added new clag effects, which are very nice. They look a lot like APs in Train Sim Classic, actually. The nice blue hazy smoke that you get.
More realistic than just continuous white smoke, as it were, what it was before. I think.
Yeah. And then also visually they've added this nice glowing on the fault lights, which you can't really tell unless it's really dark, but it's there and it's very nice.
Currently leaving Preston station, which is very nicely modelled. One of my favourite stations on the route.
I'm not
And
usually one for overhead lines, but it does suit this kind of layout, doesn't it?
oh yes, yeah. I think one of my favourite things about this route is the amount of clutter that you get on the line side. Like they've done that to a T, because you find that a lot of DCG routes lack in clutter, and there's a lot of areas that are just very bland.
Yeah.
This route doesn't have that. Oh, just look at that. Look at that. You know? That is a shot and a half right there, isn't it?
One thing that goes back to our original video where we talked about TSW4, the lighting is super.
Yeah, really up
I
the
just
game
love
with
it. I just love it.
Oh, look, we're passing a pacer there on left.
Got a 101 there as well.
So the route comes with three pieces of rolling stock, doesn't it? Actually, no, it comes with a fair few. Let me think. So we've got the 47, we've got the Class 08, we've got the 142 Pacers, and we've got Mark 1 BGs, newspaper vans in BR Blue Grey and BR Blue, and you've also got the standard sort of Mark 2F and Mark 2F or Mark 2As. Sorry, it's Mark 2As.
They are A's, yes.
Yeah, Mark 2As, standard Mark 2As that we got with the Northern Transpennine, which have been recycled, but they have had a texture upgrade and they look a lot better now. Which I believe we've got a couple of Mark 2As on this train that we're driving now, don't we, Will? If we can have a look over
Yes,
to them.
so I do like the formations on these. They're slightly better than the NTP ones because you've actually got a brake coach to either end, and then you've got the Mark 2s in the middle.
Yeah, see, I like those. The texturing on them is
They are,
massively
like, you can see
improved.
both of them if I do that.
Yeah, massively improved on the texture of Mark 2s. Because one of the things I did notice, and especially on the Cornwall route, because that's another route that had the Mark 2s on it, is that if you look very closely to them, they became very pixelated, like the texturing. But on these, you don't get that issue.
No, they're very nice, aren't they?
Yeah, look at the nice sort of weathering in the underframes and how the brake dust has come up on the side of the coaches. It's very nicely done. So what do you say is your favourite part of the route, Will? What is the...
My favourite part of the route? Honestly, I don't think I can pick one. I love all of it. I do like the freight branch, though. You know, the single line section that goes from Blackpool... Is it Blackpool North or Blackpool South? This is where I needed to do my research, really, because this route is still very new to me.
Yeah, there was a freight yard. I know which one you're on about. There is a freight yard. It's probably... Is it Kirkham? Because, to be honest, you're heading towards Kirkham now. I know Kirkham has a freight yard, but whether it is that one...
I don't think
No.
it is. It's... it'll come to me. But as I say, I just love that branch line that comes off. It's just the scenery and the detail that's on it. For something that's not necessarily part of the main route either, they've gone to town on it.
I mean, look, you know, I'm just like looking at all the scenery, and I think something about this route, it's jaw-dropping. I remember when watching Tom...
It's, by the
video.
way, it's the Burnnays branch.
Ah, yes.
Burnnays.
Yeah, the Burnnays branch, that's the one. Yeah, I know which one that is. But yeah, I remember watching one of Tom's streams on this route, and just being absolutely blown away by it, like jaw-dropping. And there's not many routes that can do that. Like, there's not many routes that can literally make my jaw drop.
What is really good about this route is the variation in the scenery as well. I mean, if you go up close to these embankments and the grass itself, they've mixed in like 2 or 3 different sort of combinations of everything, which really gives you that lovely, very realistic variation in the ground that we've probably not seen before.
It's not too repetitive.
You occasionally see those nice purple flowers in amongst it all as well.
Yeah.
I think it's lavender, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, the attention to detail is lovely.
We've got some smoke in the distance over there from the chimneys, the industrial areas.
Yeah, I
Again,
believe
just
it's a
another nice
mill,
touch.
I think. I wish to be honest, I'm not very prepared for this video because my route knowledge still isn't there yet, unfortunately, so you'll have to bear with me on that.
I think this video is more of our thoughts and opinions on the route and stock itself.
Yeah.
You know, this is what this video is all about. It's a basic review of what we think to the route and what we think could be improved. So, I think personally there's more pros than cons with this. But one thing I will say about it is AI traffic. Now, in some areas, like for example Preston, if you go and hang around Preston around 11 o'clock in the morning, you get stacks of stuff come through. You get like freight train, unit, passenger trains with loco hauled obviously, freight trains, you know, engineer trains.
Oh, there's a pacer.
Pacer, yeah. You get a rail tour class 20 set. You get all sorts. But then other times it can be completely dead and you get nothing at all, and you spend a lot of time sat around at station, which, you know, if you're at a place like Preston, you're going to have stuff coming in and out constantly because it's such a busy station.
Yeah.
But again, I think this is something that Train Sim World kind of struggles with, is AI traffic, is getting that busy feel on a route. There is moments where you're sat around at stations waiting ages for train.
I would like to add a comment which once again goes back to our previous video. I feel like there's these implementations just for the console users, and that unfortunately is one that falls into that category, is the fact that they can't load the route with as much AI as they'd probably like to.
Oh, right. Well, you think that could be a concept of why it is?
More AI is a lot more memory and processing power, and quite frankly, consoles can't handle as much as a gaming machine on like PC.
Could explain it. I mean, another thing that I could think of possibly is because it's very difficult to implement a timetable. Because I know how difficult it is to make timetables.
Yeah.
It's probably very time consuming and very hard work. There is also that fact as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The amount of detail that they put into these timetables as well, you know, they're not just, you know, spawning trains that go and disappear into the distance. They have to do the full run round procedures and light engine movements as well, don't they? It's basically a real world simulation that they're creating that has happened. And to do that, they use references of real timetables and real shunter graphs, you know. It's not like TS where you're using portals to teleport trains. I mean, you can do that. For instance, when trains get to Preston, you can't go on past there, can you? When you're going from Blackpool North.
No, they go up and despawn, and then they spawn back in later.
But for the bits that are on the scene, you know, they're doing every movement that they would do in real life, which takes a lot of power.
Yeah, because it's all based on real timetables, which is very impressive. Now, I've got to admit, I do quite like the sounds of 47.
Yeah.
I would like to have some new ones, personally, because they're what I would consider average. They're not necessarily the best.
I feel like if you were to blend this sound set with the West Somerset one, you'd have a perfect 47 set. But instead, you've got one good one, and you've got one really bad one instead. Another
Yeah,
pacer.
Look. Yeah, West Somerset 47 is very lackluster, isn't it? It's not very good.
Unfortunately, it was the first British diesel, wasn't it? If we take out the fact that they did a 66 in Great Western Express, it is the first one, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, I should say the first heritage piece of rolling stock.
Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing it and being like, oh, yes. You know, I can remember that moment.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, it didn't really live up to the expectations, though, did it, at the time? I remember seeing Alan Thompson's review on it, and he was not impressed.
No. No. He was pretty... Well, I can remember one of the things he was saying about how it didn't have any clag. Because at first, they forgot to put the clag on the loco.
Yeah.
So it had 0 clag. And he was moaning about that. And the thing is, rightly so, because, you know, you've got to have testers in DTG, surely, you know, within DTG to spot this stuff. It's blatantly obvious that nobody spotted that, you know, and you would have thought they would.
Sounds lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah. I was just thinking to be quiet there and just let the viewers listen to the sounds of it passing by, which I think we can agree it does sound pretty good. I like how now has turbo, because I believe turbo is a new addition, because I don't seem to remember 47 having a turbo screen.
I think it did. It was just very quiet, and I believe they have changed the dynamics of the existing sounds as well.
Yes. Also, one thing I forgot to mention at the start of the video, which I probably should have done, is I want to give a shout out to Rail Explore 31, who is our newest second man fireman member of our YouTube subscription. So thank you very much. I'll link your channel in the description of the video, so you guys can go and take a look at some stuff. So yeah, so thank you very much, Rail Explore. And for anyone who is wondering about YouTube subscriptions, basically what we do with our YouTube subscriptions is it's basically access to exclusive videos. So these could be like BLS development videos showing off some of our items that we're working on. So like videos of reskins or routes, and also like other exclusive bits of content such as exclusive vlogs, things like that. So if anyone is interested, check out our YouTube subscription.
One of those got uploaded recently, didn't they? One of the exclusive vlogs.
Yes, Faversham Creek Branch video.
It's a good watch. I really recommend that.
Yeah, I think that came out very well.
Trying to get some speed up. We're obviously on a gradient here, so handle is fully open.
I believe these gradient profiles are to reality as well.
Yes. So I feel like I broke a record say this, but we touched on this in the previous video. There we are. Got to give a bit of tones there. The ground data in TSW is done by something called LiDAR data, which can give probably the highest amount of accuracy that is literally possible. It's done via NASA and all that fancy technology that I don't know the name of. But it is the most accurate terrain data that you can get. And you can see on this right hand side the lavender creeping in, like I was saying earlier.
Oh yes, yeah.
And you can also see the signalling, oh, what do you call them? I've really lost my words this video. all the signalling equipment on the right hand side there, following the closest running rail to it.
So notice on that previous bridge there how they've actually painted the white boards behind signal on the bridge. You know, where they paint the bricks white.
That is that is actually a very southern thing to do.
Yeah, it's to help the driver be able to see signal better, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite clever how they do that.
Usually they're on boards, but on the actual signal post. But on these ones, they've actually recreated the fact that they used to paint it on the brickwork of the bridges as well, which is very nice.
We've also got all of the telegraph poles beside the line. I don't know if they're there today. They still exist.
So I think most of this is actually, there's still some remnants of it being there. I know Tom that works for JT. He this is his local area. Oh, what's this coming the other way? It's a 40.
My lord.
And that was actually your green one. That was your reskin.
It was my green reskin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tom for JT, he lives out this way, and he mentions in one of the streams that he did that there's loads of footpaths and stuff that you can go down to essentially relive this route.
You reckon some of those telegraph poles still exist today?
I reckon most of the fields probably still exist, to be honest. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, because obviously you see nowadays a lot of stuff's been built over or been demolished.
Yeah.
And as I say, that's why I say about the telegraph poles, because they were mostly used for the signal boxes, weren't they? That's why you had the telegraph poles either side of the track.
I just can't get tired of how this scenery looks, to be honest.
It just the scale of it is beautiful as well, isn't it? All the different colours and all the distant scenery. It's all really is a gorgeous looking route, as to be expected by JustTrains. You know, we knew that JustTrains would do a good job of this, and they have. It's the time and effort that they put into their routes. It's astonishing, it really is.
I would definitely agree with those that have said that JT have taken TSW routes to the next level now. I'd like to see how DTG are going to keep up with this.
Personally, I don't see them keeping up with this level of detail. I just don't, because I've heard that they kind of have a strict... so, basically, they have deadlines, right? So they have strict deadlines of creating content for train data. I heard by somebody or something like that, it's around about 18 months, I think, that they have to
That's
work
how
on
long
this
JT have worked
DLC.
on this, I believe.
Really?
Yes, a year and a half.
Okay, so if they can, you know, produce something like this within a year and a half, there is no reason why...
Bearing in mind, JT had to learn the tool on the job as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
It's very much a case of them wanting to put the detail in it, I think. Whereas DTG focus more on meeting deadlines, but to be honest, I'd accept say if a route was delayed and it looked like this, I honestly wouldn't care, it's just worth it, isn't it?
It really is.
I've seen a lot of the community saying that they actually feel the £30 price tag has been met with this route as well. They don't feel like they've been scammed in any way. They feel like every penny is worth it. And you can see, because you can see the effort they've gone into with everything. I mean, even the model of the signal box interiors, that's never been done before, has it?
I believe the first person to have done it was Rivet Games on the Isle of Wight 2022 route.
Oh, really?
They did an interior for what was the location called?
Don't
It's that
ask me this one.
station.
Don't
That
ask me.
station. I can't remember the station name now. I can't remember the station name. Sandown? No, it's not Sandown. Oh no, it's escaped me. I can't remember the station name, but there is a station on the route that has its old signal box still there.
Yeah.
And they've actually done the interior up and everything of the signal box, because I believe in real life it is actually open to the public. It's like a little museum or something like that.
Yeah.
And they've actually all modelled it and everything, which is really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, credit to Rivet Games for that. So it's Rivet Games who have done the first sort of signal box interior for TSW. Oh, just look at this. Look at. You notice the difference in colours as well? Like you've got a bit of lighter colours to the left, and then it sort of goes darker, and it sort
Yeah.
of blends colours in. That's very nice. And I think as well, it has the sun hits the colours as well. It changes the. It's beautiful. We've even got animals in the fields. You know, just little details like that, which makes it a more interesting drive. You know, this is something that DTG don't tend to do, you know, put stuff like animals or, you know, little bits and pieces to be able to be seen from the track.
Yeah.
But there is one particular route that I am really impressed by from DTG, and I think it's a route that I would like to visit in a video at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the Southeastern High Speed route.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you go and see Deverson, that's very much a possibility.
Well, this is the thing. I recently picked that up in a bundle, which is very good price. It's like £30 for the route plus a load of DLC that comes with it.
Yeah.
Definitely, well, I'd recommend it to anyone who's watching this to go and check it out and pick it up if you can. But I must admit, I was impressed with the route. I've got to admit that DTG did a good job on that route, and the AI traffic in it is pretty damn good. It's one that I might have to feature on the channel at some point.
I'd very much look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
another pacer coming the way. They've all been in the light blue livery so far.
I think that's the more common livery around this
What
period.
is it? Provincial?
Yeah,
is that,
provisional,
yeah.
whatever.
We're following yellows now, so I'm just keeping at a steady speed.
Yeah, so we've driven along sort of the mainline section of the route, haven't we? Because there is two branch lines as well. You've got the branch line to Blackpool South, and then you've got the branch line to Burnnays, which you mentioned earlier, Will, isn't that one
Yeah.
as well? So you've got essentially 3 different routes to go down.
I like the fact you've got the Ormskirk branch as well, which is predominantly where the pacer is used. That's a nice drive. You've got the Burnnays branch. You've got the main line from Preston to Blackpool North, which is what we're doing currently. You've basically got 3 routes in one that all coincide with each other.
Yeah. Again, it adds to it. And also, look, I like these houses along the side there on the right. That's a very nice view. The difference in bushes and grass and stuff, blend colours, that's fantastic.
Is this an
Wait a
08 that I'm about to go past?
We've got trees in the distance.
I just heard an 08 whistle. Ah, it's the pilot. There it is. Like the 47, the 08 has had many changes as well. Look at that, isn't it lovely?
Yeah, the weathering on it's brilliant. Oh wow, look, a bit of parallel running going there.
I think that's what's going to come onto the back of our set and shunt it out the way.
Yeah, you are currently approaching a red, by the way.
I know, I was on the brakes.
Oh, good, good. You see, thinking ahead. You was way ahead of me there.
Look at that. It's just a great sight, isn't it? And then you've got 4 rakes of coaches in there as well with a couple of 47s. The activity is what I like on this. You know, this route feels alive, doesn't it? There's always something moving somewhere.
It's exciting sense that there's a load of different stock. You know, if you've got all of the DLC, so for example, if you've got the class 20, if you've got the class 31, if you've got NTP, and if you've got class 20,
West Cornwall local as well.
Oh yeah, and West Cornwall local, all the stuff from that practically spawns in. Although you don't get the 37s though, but then I don't think the 37s really ran on this line, did they?
No, not in the livery that they're in, no.
No. So you get obviously the 47, you get the class 40, you get 31, and it's great to see the 31 utilised as well, because I find that 31 is usually the loco that doesn't tend to get much route availability in this game.
Yeah, I'd agree.
You only have it. Well, originally you only had it on Tees Valley and West Somerset. You couldn't drive it anywhere else. But now they've added it into this, gives it another route to drive it on.
Absolutely, and the locos that they've included to layer on to this, that's the saying, isn't it? Locos that layer on. They do fit very nicely, and it's nice to be able to use your previous owned stuff on a new route, because it just gives you that extra playability, doesn't it? Because you might not fancy driving a Pacer and a 47, and then you've got that backup that layers onto it, which is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's like if you want to drive 31, you can drive 31. You know, you've got a wide selection of different pieces of rolling stock that you can drive.
About this route, and it was the railways in a nutshell, was the variety.
Yeah.
You've got so many. You may have like 3 different types of coaches, but there's variations in the sets as well, because you can have full newspaper trains, for example. But I know there is a service where normal coaches get added to it as well.
So you got a newspaper train and a passenger service.
Yeah. They mix and match. There's no train really the same, unless it's one of these expresses, which I believe they are fixed rakes. But
yeah, just look at this. Look, coming into Blackpool now, you can get the iconic Blackpool Tower in the shot. It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. There's the 08 that we just saw moving as well.
I believe there's 2 new 08s. So that 08 there was a crew-built one, and the other 08 you get with this DLC is the Wigan TMD,
yep,
which is the station pilot for Preston, isn't it?
Yes, it's fantastic. I love that one. Once again, Matt Wilson doing a lovely job on the decals for that. Yeah,
absolutely fantastic. I'd say it has great variety.
Speaking of the 31, there it is. Next to the Pacer.
Yeah, so I'll say the pros to this route is obviously the detail, the way it looks, the fact that there's plenty of clutter and there's plenty of things to see. The upgraded 47, fantastic, absolutely love it. The Pacer is fantastic as well because it has Armstrong Powerhouse sounds applied to it, which just makes it absolutely fantastic. It has a proper bounce factor and everything on it, which is brilliant. There's plenty of variety of different routes you can go down, again, which adds to it. The cons, I would say, is AI traffic in some places. So you get some time during the day where you get virtually no AI traffic and it's very dead. Again, this something that you said, Will, where it could be to do with the fact that it's a console-based game, or it could just be the fact that it's very difficult to do timetable. We don't know. And another con that I can think of, which I'm not really keen on, is the fact that the semaphore signals don't have a clunk sound when they go up or down, which I think is an absolute horrendous shame.
Unfortunately, I don't think we've seen signal audio in general in TSW, which is a shame. Maybe that's something to look forward to in the future, who knows?
Yeah, I really wish that they had a clunking on the semaphores, because the semaphores look good, but they just don't have the sounds to go with them.
Yeah.
So, you know, like all DLC, there is room for improvement, but I can definitely say there's more pros than cons to this.
Here we are, look, 31 and a pacer. How good does that look?
It gives you the feel of the 1980s, doesn't it? And that's something as well that I really admire about this is the feel of it. You know, it feels like you're in an era that, you know, that you've never got to be a part of, and you know, I would have loved to have been in this era. I would have loved to have lived in this era.
Yeah.
You know, and to be able to actually see it and play it in a virtual world is just astonishing. It's brilliant, surreal, and I'm liking the amount of 80s stuff getting for TSW, and I hope there's a lot more in the future.
Class 25, please.
Yes, 25, please.
That best part is that could go on this route. It'd go on NTP, go on the Midland Main Line, just saying. Plenty of routes for a 25. Here's the 08, look.
And there's the new Clag as well demonstrated on it.
Isn't it super? Look at the way the rust looks and everything on that. Absolutely fantastic.
So is this, again, I'm guessing that the model's been slightly altered on the NTP one? Because I think this one was the heavy freight pack. If I'm not mistaken, I think Tom said that this one was the one from the heavy freight pack, and it's been modified. They've changed the cab interior.
Although you can put lamps on it.
Yeah. As I say, this is again a loco that has been modified.
Can you still open the side hatch on it? Which one is it with the BIS in it? Can you open the side hatch? I know on the Tees Valley one you can, but I don't think you can. Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, there it is.
That's the BIS.
So yes, if you look in the cab, you'll see that there's been some changes to it. Apparently, it's been a slight retexture.
Yes, it's a lot nicer. Oh, that's a lot more shiny now as well. Look at that. Very nice. I like that.
I love it as well the way you can just walk around a cab and that, and just get that freedom of walking around. I think that's something as well that I love about TSW.
It just gives you an amazing sense of scale, doesn't it, as well?
Oh yes, yeah. And I believe you could move that them gauges, like the miles per hour gauges, to either side. Yeah, either side of the cab. Pretty cool.
I just love it.
Yeah, there's one thing I will say, and this is a recent addition by DTG, is with the whistle. If you listen to it and play it a couple of times, the tone changes.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, now, I don't like that feature at all. I can get why they've done it, because they want to like...
Oh, there's a 101 coming in. Sorry, Carol.
Well, I can get why they've done it, because sort of simulate the difference in air pressure from the whistle/horn. but it doesn't work very well on the 08 because it sounds almost like you're doing a two-tone on an 08,
Yeah.
which is just not. It's not realistic. You know, I've never heard an 08 have a different tone of the whistle.
Neither have
I've
I actually.
always
funnily
heard it have
enough.
a constant tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing I'm a little bit skeptical on the 08. So it's not. They've done it to all the 08s. It's not just this one.
Ah. Got lots of lampines on it, hasn't it? It's got 5 lampines on this end.
Was that on the original?
I don't know. I can't say I've ever noticed it.
No. But then again, this is a crew-built 08, isn't it? So it's slightly different to
Yeah.
other renditions.
Just another example of the detail.
Yeah, point rodding.
That's what I was trying to think of earlier. Point rodding.
That's it.
There you go. Look at it.
Ah, I have just remembered it's something that Steve pointed out. So, obviously, as you know, Steve has been having a little browse and he noticed there is actually no signal cabling up to the semaphores,
Yes, I've noticed that.
which is a shame, because, I mean, something like that, especially in TS World, I thought that they would muddle, but...
You've got to remember that the cabling side of it is very thin, and I know it's taken them a lot to get overhead live wires right because of how thin they are. So I'm not so sure if that's them being lazy. I think it's more of a technicality more than anything.
And this is the signal box
Golf
interior.
clubs. There you are, not collectible.
Yeah, so this is Blackpool North signal box interior, which...
Wow, look at that.
It's that train register. British Railways train register. And it's eligible. You can read it.
Working timetable. And then you've got... Yeah, sectional appendix. We've got one of those at the GCR. Ah, yeah, look. Microwave. Nice. It's nice in here, isn't it? It'd be good just to sit here and train spot, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a good vantage point.
There's the map of what the signal box covers.
Wouldn't it be great if this was actually an operational signal box, though? That would be cool.
Signalling simulator, flipping out. That'd be good.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, though. I don't think you could really do it.
Why not?
Well, not in Train Sim World, at least. Because you got to think about it, you know. I mean, I suppose if you had an AI signalman, it could work, but you know, you can't just like implement it and not have an AI system with it, you know. So you kind of got to program it like they have done with the locomotives, where it can be operated by both the player and the AI interface. You know, which would take a lot of scripting and a lot of work, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd be great from the multiplayer side if we get multiplayer. Yeah, please, DTG, please give us multiplayer. Like, seriously, we need it, you know?
Yeah.
But it'd be great for the multiplayer aspect. But again, you know, it's all the additional work of doing all the scripting and that. Whether they'll do that, I don't know, I doubt it. I doubt we'll ever get a working signal box in this game.
One
But then
day,
again,
maybe, we can hope.
Yeah, one day. Never say never. We didn't think that we'll get the editor, and we did. So.
Does the clock work? No, it doesn't. Imagine if the clock worked in the signal box.
Oh, is it stuck at 3 o'clock?
Yeah. Be nice if you could open and close the door as well, but that's just me being a bit finicky now, isn't it?
Yeah, picky. I mean, it's okay to be picky, I suppose. When you're...
I mean, the detail of this, flip it out.
Well, yeah.
And then you've just got some broken sleepers and... Is that a sleeper? It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see the shine of the sign compared to the brickwork. Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. It is very, very...
Cable trunking. You've actually got cable coming out of the end there.
Grass.
Yeah, you can see the mixture of blended grass as well there. Look, you got the weeds in amongst it as well.
It's excellent.
Super, isn't it?
So, I'm guessing they would have had to have layered that in, or picked a...
In the editor, you can pick several types of grass and do it all at once, which is very helpful.
And that's what they've done here, evidently, yeah. Yeah, so you've got a mixture of automatic points and manual points. You get the manual points within the yard, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
And I believe your collectibles are newspapers, golf, bags, gingerbread men.
The gingerbread men are actually animated as well, which is funny.
Yeah, they're funny. They're a nice little gimmick. What else is there?
Route maps.
Route maps, that's it. I think those are the 4.
Or is it just normal posters? I think it's the actual maps, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the map. The posters are on MTP. Oh, look, mileposts. Sort of the yellow ones, aren't they?
Yeah, look, got a disused siding by the looks of it with proper rusty rail on it.
Yeah, that's very nice. I plonked a 20 down there at one point. And pretty cool. Again,
Oh.
you know, that's another feature I do love about Train Sim World 4 is the fact that you spawn a loco in timetable mode or anything like that, you know?
There you go. There's a 20.
There we are, look. Hey. Oh, isn't it just cool how you can just do that? You just hop in and do as you will, can't
I
you?
know, don't need a low loader or anything, do you? Just plonk it down. Nice.
It's the Ludge machine.
Oh, yes. He will kill you for saying that, but it is the Ludge machine. There you are, look, you can see the variation. Look, shiny railheads versus rusty railheads.
Yes, you've got the difference there as well. I have noticed, though, as well, that there's a difference in track as well. So you've got the bullhead rail, which we're at now.
Yes.
But when you're down at Preston, I believe it's mostly clipped.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you're right there. I think that's a nice little touch as well.
And also, look, the bogies and stuff on Mark 1 coaches and stuff, they're all different to NTP. They've all been retextured and looking a lot nicer. And you've got all the... Look at, like, the foot plates as you walk up to, like, you know, steps to the...
These.
Oh, look at that. Look how cool that is, how they've got all that weathering effect. All the rust stuff on it. Brilliant.
Buffers don't go inside each other either anymore.
No, they've got the collisions correct on here. Yeah. And also the livery of the 47 as well is done really, really nicely. And also you've got the 2 different ends on the 47 as well, haven't you? They've got 2 different light clusters. So you've got them ones, which is sort of pokey out light clusters, haven't you? And then on the other side it's the domino ones, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, you've got the 2 difference in
Very nice.
air, plus the headlight.
And at both ends, naturally got Sam's favourite part.
Yep. High intensity light. Very nice.
And then here's another look at the Mark IIs, which also have that effect on the edge of the steps.
Gorgeous. Well, I say, I just have to say a massive well done to JT. Really is. They've really gone to town with this. I mean, just look at this, you know. Just
got the water for the coaches.
Yeah.
Got these nice little platforms for the yardsman to stand on. This one's actually got its tail light on. Nice.
I see that basically all of those have spawned in with no nameplates.
I know,
Shame that,
yeah.
shame that the nameplates don't spawn in more often.
Well, if you think there's like 49 of the nameplates, but there's like 250 possible 47s, you know, it's... In reality, the nameplates were a bit of a rare occurrence.
Oh, yes.
Got the nice lighting here as well. Yeah, so shall we answer the big question, Mr. Beamon? As I spot another detail that I like the look of. This little diorama that's going on over here.
Got an 80s boy band being started there.
Yeah, so the $1 million question, Mr. Beamon. Is it worth $29.99?
100%. Hands down. What would you say?
I would happily pay it again to get another route like this.
Oh yeah.
Honest, it's the best route that's in the game, hands down. Well worth the money.
To be fair, I'd be happy to pay £35 a route like this.
Oh, you're being generous, are you?
Yeah, being generous, you know, because the thing is, in my opinion, I prefer the detail. It's like, I prefer detailed add-on over... what's the word? It's quality over quantity. There you go. So it's quality over quantity for me. I prefer something that is quality, that is going to take time to create, rather than rushing it and just getting it out. Okay?
Yeah.
That's sort of how developers should really look when making add-ons for TS or TSW, is to look at the quality first. Quality always comes first. You know, you've got to have your customers be happy with your route. You know, because at the end of the day, if you're going to throw something out and just rush it, your customers aren't going to be happy with it. Therefore, you'll get less people buying it. Whereas if you're doing something that is of a exceptional quality, something that's very well done, a lot of people are going to buy it and they're going to enjoy it.
Absolutely. Speaking of, Pacer.
Enough. Yeah, they seem to be common on this route, don't they?
An orange one.
Yeah, a load of those. Yeah, you tend to find those ones rarer. So you do actually get free liveries with the Pacer. You get provisional, and you get the orange, and then the
chocolate
and cream.
Yeah,
but the chocolate and cream
ones. What that's called, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't. The chocolate and cream one is only for the Penzance route, the Cornish West Cornwall route.
Yeah.
By Rivet. Yeah, that's what it's limited to.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, so you would never get it in this route, I don't think. Not spawning in anyway. It's only limited to the West Cornwall because that's where it would have ran. So, as well, as an addition to this DLC, you actually get more timetabled in services to the West Cornwall route with the Pacer.
Yeah.
Which is just, again, another brilliant addition when you buy this add-on. So yeah, so have you got anything else to say about it, Will, or...?
Not really, I don't think we can say any more. The route speaks for itself. It's absolutely fantastic. Worth the money. If anyone can, do it. Mind you, I've spotted a bit of a bug here. A Pacer is coming towards me. Oh, the lights have changed. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Now I think about it, you've reminded me of something there.
Oh,
There is actually a bug with this route where the driver is in the rear cab. Have you noticed that? Where sometimes when
it's in the front cab this time, look.
Yeah, it's in the Pacer. But when it comes to like the 47, the driver sits in the rear cab when it changes ends. So it's constantly sat in the same place, Domino's end of 47.
Oh, okay.
You don't get the driver sitting in the other.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, so that is one bug like that does need fixing, and I think it happens sometimes with the Class 40 as well, and some of the other locos that are timetabled in this route. Yeah, it's a bit bizarre, but that's again that's something that I think JT needs to fix. So yeah, JT, take note. But yeah, so yeah, so I think that we've now we've covered the pros and cons of the route, and we've covered everything that we needed to know today. I think perhaps we should do some more looks at over this route at some point. Will
idea. Yeah.
Perhaps a look at the Burn-Naze branch, which you really enjoy.
I think we can definitely look at that.
And also the other branches such as the Blackpool South route and route down to Ormskirk.
Yes.
Just to cover the entirety of the route. But I think we've covered the mainline section, Preston Blackpool, which I think everyone can agree is stunning. And there is a lot more to see, trust me.
Honestly, I load this route up a lot, and every time I see something new that surprises me, so...
There's always something
it's
to
endless.
look at with it.
Endless,
Yeah.
It's great.
So there we go then, guys. So this has been Will Braddock and Samuel Beamon of BLS. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page, Discord, and website. And we'll see you again soon, won't we, Will?
We certainly will. Take care. Bye-bye.